Hey yo, let's go. What's up, Coder Cube? I really want to say thanks for cell shading, no problem at all. Glad you enjoyed it. And it made me start the game I'm working on today, and I've learned a lot. No problem at all. Glad to hear, and good luck with your game, man. As for my game, we're currently in the process of developing this mesh creation library, or whatever it's gonna turn into. It's gonna be used to create various creature models and stuff like that. So we can, I want to put emphasis on like getting, I want the creatures to vary in visuals because I want the player to chase specific visuals properties and stuff like that. So getting this procedural mesh generation in place, it's quite important, as everything else. But so the first thing we want to generate with this mesh generation is a model that looks somewhat like this or this. So these two are currently made in Blender and imported. But if we look at them real quick, we can see that this one is a cube, which we have just sliced a couple of times. This one is just a sphere that we have sliced a couple of times. And that's what we're trying to implement now in code. And then we want the slicing to be random. Right, so what we currently have is we have a mesh parser class that can actually slice stuff now. And not only slice them, but also it takes a mesh, converts it to a more parsable system, and then we can alter it how many times we want, and then at the end we can convert it back to a mesh. I think it's a pretty good way to do it. And we can see here that right now we just slice a sphere into parts, and it works. We get a cap. It's actually not more complicated than this. I don't think we can slice something in more than one place, but that's going to be a future problem. Coder Cube, I beg you, when you make it use burst, I had to write my whole 7,000 line system for burst. Oof, yeah. I've postponed looking into burst for way too long. We're gonna do it eventually. A good thing with our system though right now, like we have the budget for allowing it to be quite slow, because all of this is work that is going to be handled by a secondary thread. And then when we have the result, we put it back to the main thread, but we will see. Don't say that, that's what I said. Yeah, I will probably sit here in a couple of months and tell myself, damn, I should have listened on Coder Cube. But we'll see. Like, I know nothing about burst right now. I'm gonna have to do a lot of research and stuff like that before. But okay, let's see. So now we can slice something. What I want to do now is I want to generate something. I wonder if actually we do it like this currently. Mesh builder. Here we create a plane and we create an icosphere, but we do it as meshes. Maybe we would like mesh builder. We would like to have a mesh builder here as well. I think we're gonna rename this one detailed mesh, I think. And then we're gonna have a detailed mesh builder, which basically has these methods, but we don't build it. We build it as a mesh parser from the get-go. CodeCube, fair, I'm targeting Quest 2, an underpowered Galaxy phone with extra features, so I need heavy optimization. Oh, damn. Yeah, I want to optimize my stuff as well, but it's not like the priority number one right now. We're gonna have to make it work properly first. I do keep a list of notes though. And as for your second message, so many scripts, I write everything into one. Yeah, I like to be structured. If I have a file that is greater than 1,000 lines, I usually want to, like, I don't want any files greater than 1K lines. But let's see here, detailed mesh, is that... Am I gonna be... Yeah, I think we're gonna start today with committing a couple of things here. Mm. Um, accommodate. Yeah, we're just gonna put it like that, I think. So vertex here, we added create average vertex, pretty good. Create middle vertex, also good. Coder Cube, also don't know if it helps, but try to pack textures into UV2. So for texture 2D arrays, so that it can use one material because set pass calls are bad. Not entirely sure I follow. Pack textures into UV2. What do you mean by that? Okay. Let's commit this real quick before we start extending it even more. And vertex, create average vertex and create middle vertex. There we go. And this one is related to 207. Yes, okay, so what did we change in edges? Coder Cube, I use UV2Y for which sheet to use also. Okay, so are we just talking about, like, instead of having two materials on an object, instead you have two UVs that reads from two different textures? Okay, yeah, we fixed this one. Anything else? Oh, that's pretty much it. Okay, so in edge, fix primitives dot edge dot cre is intersecting plane. Okay, that's edge. What do we have on triangle? Okay, triangle, we fixed quite a lot of stuff, actually. I want to see polygon first as well. Oh, polygon we fixed. We added a new constructor on polygon, which we don't use, right? I wonder, maybe we don't even want this one anymore. We moved it out to something else. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think we want this one. We moved it to triangle, if I recall correctly. We put it down here. So we changed it to triangulate from 0, triangulate from center, triangulate from center, but with override normal. Okay, Coder Cube kinda. It uses the same UV0 channel for the geometry, then it codes data into UV2. Like in UV2, it's X, what index of the sheet, and Y, what sheet to use. I use one material for the whole world. Oh, god damn, we're talking optimizations on a whole other level. Okay, so in triangle we added few static methods. We fixed this, yeah. Coder Cube, my shader is spaghetti, but 120 FPS is 120 FPS. That's a tattoo if I ever heard it. And that's true, that's true. Okay, let's commit this one as well. I'm gonna add a similar task to Extend triangle to accommodate mesh parser slice. And then let's commit this one. Extend primitives vertex. Oh, triangle, I mean. And what do we add? We add as unique vertices. Get vertices. This here we have triangulate from 0. Triangulate from center. And yeah. And we also added, where is it here? We added new vertices to slice method. Okay, beautiful. And then finally we have mesh parser. We're going to commit this and then we will probably rename it as well. It's quite big already and I wonder it's going to be way bigger. We're going to add, where do we have it? Mesh builder. I want to be able to do, so mesh builder here, we create some meshes. I want to do the exact same thing, but mesh parser. So we're going to actually we're going to be able to create mesh parsers. Here we create a mesh parser from a mesh. Here we create it empty. We're also going to be able to create it from bounds, radius, and stuff like that. We'll get to it soon enough. CodeCube, I'm experimenting with a GI system right now, editing a file, controlling the noising because the left eye is fine, but the right eye is like me without coffee. Okay, what happens, like, how come it's like that? Interesting. I've never I've never developed anything for VR. Okay, in mesh parser we have changed a lot of stuff here. Improved. So we're going to commit this one as well, and then I think we're done. And we add get mesh. Add vertex. Add vertices. Add triangle. And then we have slice as well. Okay, beautiful. I think the next step, we're going to rename it detailed mesh or parsable mesh or dynamic mesh. Dynamic mesh, probably. And that can be renamed number 1, dynamic mesh. It implies alterability. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna go with dynamic mesh, and then I want to add these build build methods, but I also wonder Unity collider. Geometry holder type. Yo, good morning, Harukanan. Mm. Hey, what's up, CO? Yeah, I wanna incorporate this in dynamic mesh because it's hella weird. Creating a mesh, then convert it to dynamic mesh, alter it, and then convert it back to mesh. I'd rather do it, create a dynamic mesh as step one, alter it, and then at the end convert it to mesh. So we're gonna add mesh parser. You know what? Let's rename it first of all. Dynamic mesh. This is going to be a new constructor, and then I wonder if we want to do. I wonder, instead of sending in a type or a enum like box, sphere, maybe we need it. Fuck, that's true. Okay, so let's add. Now we're gonna do it like this. Add dynamic. It's not gonna be a constructor. We're gonna utilize mesh parser. We're gonna create a constructor that takes a list of triangles, I think. It's pretty weird that we don't have it already. Okay, so let's add dynamic mesh. So it's going to be a constructor, and we do list triangles. And then I also want to add we're going to start with just that one, and then I want to do implement dynamic mesh dot create plane. And what do we want to send in? Width, height, resolution. And then I want to implement create cube. And I wonder here, do we want to send in, we want to create it as center and size? Yeah, probably. Do we care about resolution here? No. Not for now. And then we're going to have implement dynamic mesh create icosphere. To 3 center, float radius. Here we want resolution though, or subdivision. We're going to call this one subdivision. I would like this one to be subdivision as well, so we're going to have to take a look at that one. Create plane, create cube, create icosphere, implement. Now we're just going to start with these three, actually. We can extend it further when we need it. So we're going to have cylinder. We're going to have UV sphere as well, and cube sphere, or whatever it's called. We're probably going to have capsule as well, but we're going to start with these three because the shapes we're trying to recreate are cube and icosphere. And I included plane here because our mesh builder has plane, so I might as well just take it and put it in. And eventually, if I were to go, if I want to be real good about it, we could do get mesh. We could send in mesh topology here. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna get to that in the future, no doubt, no doubt. Okay, let's rename this one first of all. I'm gonna wait with renaming the tests. But mesh parser, so initially it was a parser. This time around it's more like a dynamic mesh. Ketho the Boat, what's up? Is the thumbnail true? Really? 324 streams? Yes, it is. Is that so many? Is it that hard to believe? Mesh parser, yeah, we have it here. Where do we have mesh parser? I want to see if we have it in some other comment or something. Yeah, we do. Here we have it. So we're going to change it here as well, and then we can commit it. Creech, do we have it here as well? Why do we have a change here? Kethu, nah, consistency fam, keep working. Would love to actually understand what's happening though, lol. Okay, appreciate it, appreciate it. Yeah, consistency is king. I hate that I was way too old when I understood how important consistency is for everything. Okay, so let's just rename it here as well. Position generation mesh parser. Position generation dynamic mesh. Like, when the whole system is in place, we have mesh parser polygon angle threshold as well. Dynamic mesh. There we go. Like, when we generate positions for so when we, a specific example is when we generate the eyes for our stone creature, we use a mesh parser, or we used a mesh parser previously, dynamic mesh, this time around, and we recreated it previously. This time around, when we generate a creature, we're gonna use, for most of our creatures, we're gonna, or for some of them, we're gonna generate their base model as a mesh or dynamic mesh, and then we can send that one in to our, to these, so we don't need to regenerate them, you know. Color Cube, this game seems really interesting, especially with the diegetic UI and all the attention to detail in shaders and everything. I appreciate it. We're still pretty, it's unfortunately it's still very early. It takes a lot of time to make games, but now it's actually really starting to take shape. I've previously described it as like my take on Chow Garden in Sonic with Viva Pinata from Rare. But given how this creature generation implementation is going, I'm probably gonna have to include Spore as well. Okay, let's just commit these, and then we can focus on these 4 tasks. And then finally, we're going to implement this, and then we're done with this task, and we're gonna be able to move on and actually generate the stone body. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Harukanan proc-gen creature is 100% Spore indeed. Yeah, initially I didn't think I would go this deep into the proc-gen, but you know how proc-gen is. It pulls you right in. You don't have much say in it. Coda Cube, isn't Viva Pinata the game with shell texturing everywhere? Yeah, I think that's the term for it, right? They use it for grass, they use it for the, I want to say fur on the pinatas, but yeah. It has a very specific look, and like, I can't say enough good things about it. I love it, that game. Viva Pinata is life. Okay, sorry, let me commit these real quick. We need to rename the file as well. So let's do that real quick, and then we commit. Dynamic mesh. Okay. Okay, now we have the 2 renames, and I just want to add this one as well. Generation module position. Rename mesh parser dynamic mesh. There we go. What's up, Atlas? I'm just going to sit here not understanding what is being said, hoping I can understand in the future. That's a positive, optimistic outlook to have. Appreciate it. And hopefully, or enjoy. Oops, that's the wrong task. There we go. Fuck, I'm gonna have to... Do we have a lot of mesh parser here? Oh, we even have it here. Let's keep it as mesh parser here for now. I will rename it in the task of stream. It's not that important. Let's start by adding this constructor. I think this one is the easiest. Dynamic mesh. We have a quicker way of doing it than this. CodeCube, don't say the word task. It scares me. Still scarred from making my code use burst. Okay. What is another word we can use then? I don't want to make you have a PTSD attack or something like that. Okay, so what I want to avoid here, activity. Activity. I don't know. You're gonna have to come up with a better word if I'm gonna stop using the T word. Okay, so we want to instantiate triangles, vertices. Like the easiest would probably be to do... We can just do it like this for now. For each... Fuck it, let's just do it like this, I think. Or... And we do true here. Hey, we should be using this one, right? Or does add triangle, does it take an array? If it does take... No, it takes a list of triangles. This has to be wrong, right? If we were to write this, I would understand it. Ah, never mind. Now I understand it. Oof, okay, good. Yo, what's up, Antonino? Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday so far. Yeah, let's just implement it like this initially. So we can properly do these, okay? So then I want to add dynamic mesh. Add constructor. Okay, now I think 50 minutes in, we're gonna start to do some interesting stuff. We are gonna add a few static methods here. We're gonna add void, not void, dynamic, public, static, dynamic mesh, create plane. Did I fuck up? Probably. Okay, we just want to create a plane here, but opposed to our mesh builder, we don't want to create it as a mesh, and we don't need to do it with various mesh topologies. We just want to create it as a dynamic mesh. So instead of using separate arrays for vertices, UVs, normals, tangents, and a int array, we're going to use the vertex struct, the edge struct, and the triangle struct, pretty much. What I want to make sure when we convert this one is, in fact, when we create meshes like this, you usually do it vertices first and then triangles. I wonder if, actually, you know what? Oops, this one is, I don't mind. Dynamic mesh. Yeah, I actually want to add an additional constructor as well. I think the best bet is to add a constructor that takes triangles and vertices. And another thing, when we create the icosphere, we create it by doing a basic icosphere, and then we subdivide it multiple times. I think we want to add a subdivide method here. Definitely. Antonino, do you have a job beside YouTube, etc.? How do you handle both? Yeah, part-time. So I try to do 4 hours my other job and 4 hours this each day. Which makes it possible, right? Because together they create 8 hours, which is the usual amount of hours you work here where I live. Okay, we're gonna do a subdivide method. Holy shit, yeah. I think it's pretty easy, actually. I think we have the most of the logic, if not all of the logic, here with get midpoint index. Yeah, 100%. I think this is going to be real easy, honestly. Antonino, I have a full-time job. I can't find time to my hobbies. Yeah, I get you 100%. It fucking sucks. The amount of hours we have each day. I wish it was double. But something I've done to get more, like I try to work a little bit on the weekends as well, and the hack I do then is to just go up real early, you know. You gotta find your time, and for me, for my life puzzle, the early morning hours, I'm talking like 5, maybe even 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. Perfect. Code Cube, I have a full-time job, except I pay them. Oh, yeah. I get it. I'm from Sweden, and here it's a little bit weird. Like here you don't pay to go to college slash university. Fuck, you actually get paid a little bit. A small amount. Okay, but I want to do dynamic mesh. How would this look? It would look... Triangles per edge. We're gonna do it like this, I think. I would love to be able to do this, but we're gonna do this for now. Like this. Let's just add this in the task as well and commit it, and then we can start doing some fun stuff. Okay, now I think we have the constructors we want. So we're gonna these like that, and then I want to add as well implement dynamic mesh dot subdivide. Int, what do you call it? Int okay. Antonino, I pay for college, food, and I need to buy a vehicle. I'm cooked. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? If you don't mind me asking, what do you need a vehicle for? Is it... Don't you live in a, like, walkable city? Okay, so create plane. I'm actually gonna take, do we have mesh builder here? We have it. Okay, so can we convert this in a smart way to our dynamic mesh structure? Here we create vertices first. Yeah, we're probably gonna do this here as well. Resolution. Let's just take, let's take this and put it here. See what we can do. So instead of doing this, we do we have resolution. So now I'm wondering, like, it would be nicer implementation wise or easier to read and follow if we implemented this as we just generate a simple plane, and then if we need to, we subdivide it. Maybe that's the way I should go, but that's gonna be hella expensive. So we just take the same mentality we do with our icosphere, that we create it and then subdivide it over and over. Because that's stupid. Nah, maybe not. Int subdivision. So we do length is just going to be 4. So we do vertex list vertex vertices is equal to this, and then capacity 4. Antonina, I work 40 minutes from home. Yeah, that explains it. That explains it. The work culture in Italy is very backward here. Quote unquote, we think that if you work from home, you're not actually working. So I have to travel 40 minutes to the office. Yeah, I fucking hate that. I mean, COVID pretty helped quite a lot with that. I think like a lot more people understood that you can actually get stuff done if you work from home. But then people started to use it. So bad players started to use it by being like, you know, overemployed. So people had 2 or 3 jobs working from home. And then people started doubting working from home again, which sucks. It puts a lot of trust and assumes that the person has a lot of discipline for him or her to be able to work from home. But yeah, I understand exactly what you mean. A lot of people, unfortunately, do use it to not do that much work, which is a little bit sad. Antonino, in Italy, you can't have multiple jobs at the same time. Really? But in Italy, you could probably run your own company, like, I don't know, be a consultant and work another job. Or I have no idea how it works there, but not being able to have multiple jobs, that sounds a little bit weird. Codecuban want 2 jobs at home, Orange Cat and game dev. Sounds like heaven. Okay. Let's just do it like this here. Create plane. We also want to have vector2 size. We're gonna wait with this one. new vertex, new vector 3. Where do we begin? 0.5 times size dot x, or negative 0.0 minus 0.5 times size dot z. So y, I mean. And then normal is just gonna be vector 3 dot up. And then I want vector 2, which is gonna be vector 2 dot 0. That's our first. Second, third, fourth. Then we move up. So vector 2 dot, what do we have? Is it up? Down 1, left, right, 0. Don't we have up here? Yeah, we do. Yes. And then we have up to the right. So that's just 1 here. And then we have down to the right. And that is, I want to say down, but whoa. Definitely not down. Right, probably. Let's see here. 0, 0, 0, up is 0, 1, 1 is 1, 1, and right is 1, 0. I think that's correct, UVs. And you know what? Let's add the index as well. I don't know if we're going to use the index eventually. And do I want to make this a little bit nicer? Yeah, maybe we can do it like this. Antonino, if you have a contract with someone as an employee, then you can't do a job as an employee somewhere else at the same time. If you're a freelancer, then you can. But you have to pay a lot more taxes. I mean, a lot more taxes. Okay. Like, most rules often have a reason why they are in place. It makes me wonder why this rule is in place. Probably for a good cause. Or for a good reason, I mean. Okay. And then we create the triangles. Yeah, we're gonna do it like this. So that's gonna be vertices 0, 1, 2, right? And then the second one is 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 0, right? And then we do return new dynamic mesh vertices triangles. And there we have it. That's how we create a plane now. So this, as opposed to this. But the thing with this one is that we get way more we have resolution as an option here. So we're not, this one is not entirely implemented in this, but we will get there eventually. I want to try these as well. So we're going to add a new test class. Dynamic mesh build tests or something like that. We're going to structure the tests in a more proper way eventually. CodeCube, really specific, but for the 6 people watching, does anyone have an efficient VR-supported SSGI implementation? Mine just freaks out. Yeah, it's very specific, and unfortunately, I don't. Maybe someone else. Dynamic mesh build test. I think that's about it, or dynamic mesh, is it in data as well? Yeah, it's in data. Actually, okay, here we go. Header plane build test. You know what? We're gonna change. Do we want position as well? No, probably not. We're gonna do it in local space. So bool build plane. And then we have anything else? No, I don't think so. Dynamic mesh dot create plane, and then we have size, plane size, and we want to do if build plane you know what, we're gonna do not right now, or let's see here, visualizer slice test. Yeah, we're gonna have to do all of this. Mesh renderer. You know what? Plain geo mesh filter. Something like that. I think that's enough to test it, right? Dynamic mesh create plane. We get a dynamic mesh. Then we create a game object, add a mesh renderer, add a mesh filter, and set plane mesh get mesh to the mesh in plane geo mesh filter. Antonino, in Italy there is a minimum number of hours of rest to be guaranteed to yourself. Yeah, I think we have something similar in Sweden. Very important. Given that you must guarantee the employer to work a total of hours, example 8, if you had another 8-hour contract, then you would be working 16 hours a day. This is because 2 jobs cannot overlap. The maximum limit of working hours per week is 48 hours. Yeah, in fact, I'm glad rules like this exist. Because companies really used to destroy people, honestly. Take advantage on them. Okay, let's see what we get with this one. You know what? We're gonna remove that print as well. I'm growing tired of it. Okay, beautiful. Let's try like this, create empty. And then we add a dynamic mesh build test here. We want to build a plane. It's going to be 1 and 1. And here we have it. Beautiful. Yeah, we don't have any material, but that's okay. We can do change to basic lit. And here we have it. Okay, great. So plane works. It's just a 4 vertex plane. As simple as they come. So that's our plane. Let's commit this. So I'm gonna try and be better at committing stuff, so we don't have to start tomorrow's streams with committing stuff for 50 minutes. So yeah, create plane. Let's add this one. Okay, let's see how much simpler we can make this one. Create icosphere. We're gonna wait with subdivision. So we send in radius and we add a list of vertices, or we create the vertices like this, and then we add triangles like this. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to have this. We're gonna have a big block of code both here and here, but that's okay. I'm a little bit... inspired. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. There's a like in this method here, like we first create the vertices, then we move them outwards to properly adjust to radius. Honestly, we should just do this here. Yeah, I think so. We're gonna wait with subdivision. But then the normals and UVs, I would love to be able to create the normals and UVs here already. I don't want to loop through an additional time. So let's see here. Normals are easy. We just take the position and normalize it. The UV, though, needs the normal. Because here we do some geometry stuff. I wouldn't even begin to start understanding this one. So what can we do? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to have a private method here. So we send in the initial position. So something like this. Let's see, can we do public static dynamic mesh, create icosphere, float radius. Can we have private vertex create private static vertex create icosphere vertex vector 3 position? Or is this weird? I don't even know if it's possible, honestly. I would love to have this one here. One sec. Okay, I get it. Fuck, where do I want to keep it then? I really, really don't want to make it open like here. That's worst case scenario, we're gonna have to. So I want to send this one in and get a vertex where we calculate. Define private method in static method. Okay, let's do it like this then. Create icosphere vertex, create icosphere. So we're gonna have to have it like this. So return new vertex. And yeah, we're gonna have to send in radius as well. Float radius. So the position is equal to v dot normalized, or radius times v normalized. That's our position. Which makes me want to do this, because then we can do radius times n, and then the uv is an index. Here's another thing we probably want to do. We want to skip this one? No, let's just do it like index. I think that's the way we want to do it. Cube, I'm literally using my VR like speakers right now. I refuse to test. I just get sad. Believe, man. Believe. I think this is pretty much it. Yes. And then we return it. Create icosphere vertex. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take this one, T, and then we're going to take this one. But we're going to do it as list vertex vertices is equal to new vector 3 new list vertex. There we go. And then we do new vertex, not new vertex, create icosphere vertex, new vector. Is that actually what I want? Let's see. Maybe we can do it like this. Create icosphere vertex. New vector. Beautiful. Yeah, radius and index 0. Yeah, we want to make this static as well. There we go. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we want to create the triangles as well. Once again, we're going to do the subdivision soon enough. We have normals, UVs, index. Okay, beautiful. list triangles is equal to new list triangle Okay, let's see if we can do this here as well. That would be pretty cool. New triangle. Vertices. Vertices. There we go, I think. And then finally return dynamic mesh vertices triangles. There we have it. So this and this instead of this. But then once again, we don't have a mesh now, and we don't have subdivision. We're going to get to subdivision soon enough. Let's try this one. Oops, that's not where we want to have it. You know what? Okay. Create plane? No. Okay. Took its time. Let's disable this one, enable this one, and go with 1 from the... And there we have it. I don't know. Looks pretty... Fuck. hell happened here? That doesn't look too good. How did I manage to do this? I must have screwed up the ordering of the vertices, right? Or the direction of the normal, I reckon. Yep. Code cube, yeah. Yo, what's up, Arda? Is this some kind of mesh manipulation script or nah? Yes, it is. We're gonna use it to proc-gen a lot of different creatures eventually. So now we just want to be able to generate basic shapes in a specific form, and then we can slice them or do a lot of stuff to them. So let's take a look at this one. I think it looks like we have the bottom half of it is in the wrong direction. So let's start the detective work there. Did I... This one looks okay, right? I did not, by mistake, change any of these. I don't think, no. This one is the same as well. The range, I didn't fuck up the range here. Or the, I mean, triangle ordering, no. Probably something here. That also feels a bit weird, doesn't it? NV normalized. So let's see here. First they create these positions, or we, in this script. Normalized radius. So what they're doing here is what we're doing here. How did I manage to screw it up like this? Yo, what's up, Joseph? Programmer here, just watching you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What? What? Is it actually the case that we do get midpoint index? No. Interesting. Like, I'm wondering if UV has nothing to do with this, but I'm starting to think that get mesh it would definitely suck if it's this one that screws it up. Removing duplicates, nah, should be okay. Yeah, should definitely be okay. Or now we hash code, we combine position, normal, and UV to get this one. And we don't do it with indexing. Joseph, are you doing this challenge without AI assistance? Curious if you're going to use it at all for help, etc. We ask AI for stuff sometimes. Positional, normal, and UV. So index, we don't care about index. Do we have... That shouldn't be the one what screws us here. Joseph, no worries if you do. It can be super handy for just getting ideas and checking for potential flaws. That is how I use it. Yeah, like, it's fucking perfect for giving like implementation for stuff that has been implemented a million of times. For instance, like mesh slicing. It's just... But then it starts to break when you ask it a little bit more specific stuff, right? And shader stuff, I almost never asks for stuff when it comes to like complicated shader stuff. Yo, what's up, Skyfer? Or Scafer? I don't remember how I usually say your name. This issue is very weird. I'm wondering why... Hey, actually, let's take... Why are the bottom ones... The normal is correct as well, right? Because we shade it... Yeah, we shade it in a good way. It's just the position. How the fuck is that possible? Radius times n... I would understand it if... Icosphere radius. I would understand it maybe if this one was 0, but... Joseph, can you debug by giving different colors to each of triangles? Yeah, that would probably help, but I'm wondering if that takes more time than just finding it. It's probably, like, I want to say it's something simple, a split, like a removed minus sign or something like that. CodeCube, yeah, I mean, getting it to help with pseudocode is fine and dandy, but shaders should never be touched by AI at all. AI hallucinating a whole new language, unite as well. Yeah, that's what I've found as well. Like, if I ask it for small building blocks when it comes to shaders, then sometimes it gives the correct answers. When I ask about big things, it almost never gives the correct answer. I had a problem with geometry shaders as well. It hallucinated a correct answer for me. Skyper, I've asked ChatGPT about goal-oriented action programming, right? And how it works. And for a couple of code example, it said, oh yes, it's very easy, generated code, it looked suspiciously easy. Then I went search for existing implementation. What I found was only a bit more sophisticated. But I thought it was something complicated. I mean, Go Up is a pretty big or broad term. Go Up can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. It depends on how smart you want your AI agents to be, pretty much. And now I'm talking about AI agents as the old terminology, not the new one. CodeCube wants it help with material stage outline shader for fake volumetric clouds. That's pretty fucking dandy. Okay, but back to this one. Let's take a look at Mesh Builder again. I'm wondering if Joseph, I notice you have 20 triangles. Is that the right amount of triangles for what you're making? Yes. Like, the thing is, we have the implementation here in very basic, like we created in with a mesh-based or Unity engine mesh-based structure. Now we want to convert it to our dynamic mesh structure. But changing it for could it be? Don't think this one should help in any way. Yeah, the more I look at this, the more I think it's actually dynamic mesh.get mesh, which is pretty weird. Okay, let's think about what we can do to properly fix this. Scafer, AI in games is not easy. It always gets messy for me when enemies need to be animated and you must sync all of it. Yeah, there's a lot of like levels of complexity to it. We're gonna dive extremely deep into goal-oriented or Go Up soon on this stream. I just want to get some basic creature designs in place before we're gonna start making them move around and stuff like that. It's gonna be very interesting. But first, we're gonna have to solve this icosphere generation. I want to see what happens if we just do V here. And let's see if the issue happens. Did we recompile? There we go. Skyfer, there is an idea of dumb and smart components. Smart components have all the logic and dumb ones just visualize it. I like that. I like that way of thinking. Okay, so what we can see here is it's so weird. let me just check one thing. We can send in subdivision okay, yeah, we can send in subdivision 0. And if it's subdivision 0, we don't do this. So what this means is that something seems to be wrong with these. Did I actually screw this one up? Maybe I did. This looks okay, right? TT minus minus 1 looks okay. This one, T0 minus 1, T0 1, minus minus minus. Gentleman Goat, thank you so much for the bits, appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully we get to the solution here. Skyfer, ChatGPT helped me write sphere generation code because I forgot how to use spherical coordinates. Dude, ChatGPT has helped me a lot with generating these base meshes. Maybe we could have asked Copilot here. I'm still a little bit reluctant to let anything else than Microsoft parse my code, and the reason for that is because I don't trust Microsoft more than any other. But Microsoft already has my code, since we have this on GitHub. So probably I could have asked it to find the error here, but we're gonna do the work ourselves. Like, okay, this is very weird. So what makes me think that it's the dynamic mesh that fucks this up is because we have the exact same vertices here as here, right? Yeah, we do. What do we do? Vertices normalized radius. And that's what we did here previously, right? We did radius times b normalized. Antonino, you can use GitHub Plus then. Yeah, I'm gonna do. CoderCube, I feel happier letting OpenAI have my code than Microsoft. Fuck, Microsoft and OpenAI are pretty tied, right? Aren't they? Okay, so let's try this actually. We're gonna do dynamic mesh build test. Instead of getting the mesh like this, we are gonna do, I just want to see if this one gives the correct solution. And here we do mesh builder dot create icosphere 0 1. Let's take a look at this icosphere. Yo, what's up, Jax? Look at this. That is great. So I've looked myself blind on this list and it's exactly the same. So that means that the problem lies with get mesh. So when we transform our dynamic mesh into a mesh, right? So let's take a look at this one again. Very good to find the issue now. Jax, are you Norwegian or Swedish? I forgot. Swedish. And what we do here is this one. I'm thinking that this one might screw us here actually. But it shouldn't. But it probably is. Oh, is it this one? But fuck me, it makes no sense to me that this one, because we tried, so when we sweet when we slice the mesh, this method actually works. So it feels weird that it wouldn't work with a icosphere with a very small radius, but it works with actually slicing a UV sphere. That's crazy to me. Vertices no duplicates contains key, so it might very well, like, I thought it could be this one, so this is what we use to check if one vertex is the same as the other one. We don't care about index. Do we have duplicated vertices with different indices? I don't think so. And we do use normal here. Okay, this just becomes weird. Okay, let's try one thing. Let's do dynamic mesh build. I want to test dynamic mesh. Let's remove get mesh. There we have it. Let's remove vertices duplicates and see if it works. So we do it like this. But one sec, then we don't have this. And then we do vertex indices. Now we just do like this instead. Let's see if this works. Yep, okay, so as, one sec. Okay, good. I already changed this, so it does actually work. The plot thickens. So it's the no duplicated vertices that screws us. Why is my hash code? I thought we would be getting combine. We have different positions, different normals, and different UVs, but it gets Like, I wonder about this one. Okay, so this is very good that we found this out, or that we ran into this problem. So what is it with this generation that leads to duplicated vertices? Something with floating point values error. So what happens is, I'm going to keep that in mind. It might very well be. It might very well be. But okay, let's jump to this one. I want to... So what happens here is that, so we have a dynamic mesh with vertices, triangles, edges, and so on. We don't care about duplicated vertices during all of this. So think about it like this. But when we convert it to an actual mesh that is going to get rendered, then we want to remove duplicated meshes, or vertices. So vertices that occupy the same space and has the same normal and the same UV. So we go through all vertices, add them to a dictionary, and yeah, that way we get rid of all the duplicated vertices. And then when we build the triangles, instead of going to the original index, we do this no duplicated vertices index instead. To make all of this work, we rely on the vertex hash code, which we create by doing a hash code combine position normal UV. Like, I'm worried about this one. Because what happens here is, let's show. So what happens is that we're just going to wait for Unity, and then we're going to run it again. Yeah, what's up, Ryan? What happens here is that we have the correct amount of vertices, or the correct amount of triangles at least. We have the correct amount of triangles, but the wrong amount of vertices. These two vertices, it's only two vertices, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So this one and this one, they shouldn't be located up here. They should be down here. But what's weird is... look at what's weird is that these two vertices, they don't exist on the top, do they? Oh yeah, they do, they do. It's these two. So instead of getting the original two vertices that are down here, we get the two vertices up here. And okay, maybe we can get to the bottom of this. These two vertices are the exact same in X and Z, but they have, one has negative Y and one has positive Y, and the normal is also exactly the same except for flipped. So when we do, let's take a look at hash code combine. It has to be unique, right? Go to cube, I'm going to go to bed. It's 4 4:04 a.m. and all I'm getting is 4:04. So good night, everyone. Good night, man. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Having a hard time. Could it really? I don't think so. Int 32. Thank you, appreciate it. Let's take a look. Yeah, maybe hash code of vector 3 is the problem. That might very well be it. There is no guarantee of uniqueness. Antonino, I wonder why you have so few viewers. The content is interesting. I wonder the same. Maybe we should get a camera up in this place. Scafer, thanks so much for the links. Appreciate it. Like, if they are not unique, then we definitely need to fix this. Actually, let's do this. Let's try this, because one thing is... Let's just do index. Let's return the index. And let's see if it works. Because if this works, that means that we're getting similar hash codes for different vertices. And that sucks, man. So now we just do the index. Oh boy. Thank you for the links once again, man. Whoa, 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 whoa. What a complete fuck up by me. Or it sucks that I can't fuck, this breaks everything. Welcome back, Ryan. What should we do instead? Fuck, I want to use position normal and UV. Ryan, likewise. Scafer, the second link, they are talking about implementing eye equality compare for a vector 3 or for a vertex in your case. Yeah. So we have like this unique code here. Why do they even have like hash code for vector 3s if it's not unique? What's the reason for this? Yeah, because all .NET objects must have hash code for some reason. I think like having hash codes is good, but like shouldn't they be able to do it so they are unique for vector 3? But yeah, I don't know. Don't we have it somewhere here? Okay, what can we do instead here? Harry Heath, what's up? A hash code doesn't have to be unique, but the equals method must be correct, i.e. actually compare the fields, not just use the hash. So we're talking about these two then. Okay. I think... But when you use... Oh, and thank you, by the way, for the information. Appreciate it. When you use like when we use vertex here with dictionary, then we use the hash code for the key, right? And that pretty much assumes that it's unique, doesn't it? What up, Synapse? Appreciate it. That's a good one, actually. That's fucking high effort joke. But Harry Heath, thank you, appreciate it. But I do want a unique hash here, and I want it based on position and normals and UVs. A hash collision is fine and expected, but it then looks for the correct object by using equals. Oh, so what I'm doing here is, that's the fucked up part. Because here we use the hash code. But could I... Okay, I get it. Thank you. Appreciate it. So first it uses hash code if it gets a... okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's do... But this feels costly then. So what I want to do is we use this hash code, but then we use v position is equal to position, and v dot normal is equal to normal, and uv or v dot uv is equal to uv. And or can we just do... So we should do it like this. This is the correct way to do it. So this hash code, we don't... this is not unique, but if we get a collision when we use it in dictionary, we go to these methods, and if we do this now, it should be a-okay. Good to know, good to know. Then I fucked it up in some other way. But so now it's pretty much like we are doing... We don't check this, right? Because now it's like, let's see here. Maybe I've done something wrong, but let's see. Or evidently I have. Let's figure out where. It stores the vertex in a dictionary by hash code, but I guess when you try and get the value, it uses equals and cannot find it. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering now. So now we have hash code here, which we know is not unique. But when we do equals, we definitely make sure that these are uniques. Or a vertex. For a vertex to be equal to another vertex, all of these has to be exactly the same. Maybe we can add some floating point error eventually, but for now we're going to run it like this. So it's pretty much like, yeah, it looks that we already have this key, but yeah, then when we try to fetch it, we don't get it, right? Right, do I have a wrong assumption here? That looks good. Let's check that link. I appreciate the link. Let's see. This is class. That shouldn't matter. Yeah, this is exactly like we do it. Right? Or have I forgotten? Override, good. That's pretty much exactly the same as we do. Hash code combine equals, yeah. Okay, did I screw up somewhere else then? Get mesh. Antonino, we create a petition to have 1 day of work every 48 hours. I'm tired of waking up at 7, coming home at 7 at night, going to the gym and studying at night. I want my life back. Yeah, create it. I'm looking forward to 4-day week, 4-day work weeks. That has to be in the future, right? Not that far off. But yeah, it definitely looks like, so when we do this one, we're not getting the equals we want. Equal vertex. I don't get it. I don't get it. One sec, though. Vertex. It should be okay now. Did it not recompile? It's probably others. Thank you, appreciate it, Harry Heath. Let's just do. Oops. Just want to make sure. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Okay, vertex indices. Vertex was not present in the dictionary, the given key. Oh, that's weird. Get mesh. Vertex indices. Vertices no duplicates. If it contains key, we just continue. Otherwise, vertices duplicates count is the new index, and then we add it to vertex indices. So vertex has the key, index, and then vertices duplicates. This is just a list with these vertices. It's hella. Actually, triangles. Could it? Nah, it should be okay. Hmm. Not what I wanted. Like now we can go do this, right? But that shouldn't fix. Or we could do... That probably doesn't fix this issue. Yeah, here we do it in a little bit of a different way. But then maybe... I wonder if combine... I want to wait. I don't want to introduce an additional issue here. Harry, just for testing's sake, when if you add all the vertices of all the triangles list rather than using the vertices list? What if you add all the vertices of all the triangles list rather than using the vertices list? So we're talking about dynamic mesh. Like, do you mean just removing this, where we remove duplicates and use the vertices here instead? Just want to double check this one now. We've only changed hash codes for triangles. It shouldn't change anything. Like previously we tried, if we removed vertices, no duplicates. For each triangle in vertices, then we add 2 vertex indices. Yeah, like previously we tried something very similar. If I understand you correctly, instead we did, we just said screw it to these, changed these to vertices, and changed these ones to, oops, just getting the index like this, and that worked. I don't know if I'm misunderstanding you, Harry, but that would be something similar, right? For each triangle in vertices, then v1, v2, v3 add to vertex indices. I mean, just to build your... Okay. Oh, you mean here? Yes. Yeah, let's try it. Now I understand. Sorry. So let's try this. For triangle in triangles. And then we want to do... but then we want to do for each... vertex in triangles get Do we have that one? Vertices. Get. Have I removed that one? Okay, let's do it without the for each then. If we can. So if vertex indices contains key triangle.v1, but we do it like this. If it doesn't contain it, we do this. So like this, right? But then we do it with all of them as well. So like this. Right? Yeah. Same issue. It feels like I'm doing something stupid somewhere. Or I'm missing something. Is there a difference between vertex indices get value or default? I just want to try, like it feels like we're comparing the hash and the equals in one case, but not in the other for some reason. Fucking hell. There we go. Huh. But then we get the same. But then we get the same issue as previously. Are we getting... No. Okay, now we're getting default. Okay, yeah. Never mind. We're just getting defaults here. So it's like we don't find the vertex as well. It's the exact same as this, but we don't find it. So we get vertex 0, 0, 0 instead. Scafer, you could have supplied dictionary with a equality comparer without needing to implement your own hash code. Yeah, we're... But then we're gonna have to supply it every time, right? But I get the feeling like this one checks the hash map and not the equals method, and this one checks the hash map and then the equals method. Right? That makes no like. I have no idea why that would be the case. Okay, well, I want to try one thing. So if we do this, let's go back a couple of steps. So we're back here, and then we'll try if it contains, then we check if now I want to fetch it. Okay, let's try that one actually. If it contains, then we do vertex indices vertex. We just try and fetch it here. Is equal to vertex. Never mind. I forget. Let's just do, because basically what happens is when we try to fetch it, debug log, that's when we vertex fails. So vertex. Okay, so if it contains it, then we just try and get it. So we just try and get it like this. This is pretty stupid, but let's try it. Get the fuck. Now we still get it down here. Okay. So try v1. Okay, I want to try one more thing. Look at this. We're gonna do it like this. Maybe. Okay, this will probably work. If it doesn't work, oh, that's true. That is true. Good catch, Harry. Let's see. I have one more thing we can try eventually. Let's do this and jump back to dynamic mesh. And where did we have it? Yeah, we should have gotten logs here. Actually, fuck now. Okay, I'm starting to become a little bit tired. Let's see. We should not get any logs. We shouldn't get any logs. So the problem is we have two bottom vertices that seems to be using the top vertices. But anyway, I think I know how we can try this one. If we do this, in the test class, Dynamic Mesh Builder, or no, actually, in Dynamic Mesh, down here, when we build the icosphere, we build vertices like this, then we create triangles like this, and then we just add the triangles. And true. We do it like this. So let's just see what kind of result we get from this, and maybe I can describe. Now we actually get logs as well. Now we get logs. Okay, that's good. Makes me wonder. Holy shit, this is weird. Okay, so this is where we are at. We should get duplicated vertices in both cases, because we just create these vertices and then we create multiple triangles that refer to the same vertices, right? So this one should definitely log, and we get it here. So when we only send in triangles, when we create this one. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So once again, in the first example we did, then we send in this vertex list again. So in that case, we should not have duplicated vertices. But now we only send in this one and we create the vertex list in Dynamic Mesh with these vertices, and then we get duplicated vertices, right? But I find it extremely weird. So in this case, we have duplicated vertices, and we can see it by the debug log. This still doesn't work. So literally, when we create this dynamic mesh, we send in triangles. For each triangle we add, we also set add vertices to true. So when we add a triangle, we add the vertices of the triangle to vertices here. And we set the vertex index. So index is different between them, but that should be okay because in the compare method we don't use index. We don't use index here either. So when we finally do so that makes this even weirder, right? Because we print here now. But this one fails. I want to see, this was a bad log. Let's see vertex indices. Yeah, let's do this. Already contains position. And then we do finding. I'm gonna assume that it's v1 that fails us all time. Yo, what's up, Julius? I've just now realized that it's debug means debug. Yeah. It's the time. Ooh. 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 That might very well be it. What the fuck happened here? Huh. But I want to see -1. Let's copy this one. So we don't have this one previous. So we probably can't add it because it has the wrong UV, right? That's what I'm thinking, at least. That sucks. I'm sorry. Fuck, I fucked up. Is this seriously why it didn't work? Holy shit. Let's see here. Yes, normals. Fucking hell. Oh. Jax, if I remember correctly, Unity allows to have 9 UV channels. Yeah, they are pretty loose on the number of UV channels, which is pretty good, I think. Holy shit. Oh my god, yeah. I said I probably did something stupid. Okay. We generated UV coordinates that were invalid because we used the vector or the position here instead of the normal. So we got not a number, which screwed up our hashing. But the fuck, I've learned a lot during this. I hate that it happened, but I'm happy that it happened at the same time. Wow. Okay, let's see if... So this way of doing it leads to a lot of duplicated vertices. So instead now we send in vertices here and then triangles. Wowee. Yeah. Now we don't get any duplicate vertices. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, let's see here. What do we have here? Get mesh. Let's remove these. And these. But it makes me wonder. It still makes me wonder. NAN, for some reason having that in UV coordinates worked or is like, I'm wondering, was it because hash code of, I have no idea. What version is this? .NET 7, but because this sounds like exactly our problem, doesn't it? But I don't know, this, I don't know. Six years ago. Okay. Yeah, I learned quite a lot during this. I hope to learn more. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to read more into it right now. I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna write it down as a little bit of a note here. For myself. Not a number, hash codes, and dictionaries. All of that, how the relationship works and why. Because it definitely looked... Okay, so we generated the wrong UVs for our vertices. I'm glad we found found that out. But then when we tried to... When we tried to get the mesh and we tried to reduce the number of vertices by removing duplicates, then it was like the contains key checkup did so we didn't add the not a number vertices. So then when we tried to check them up, we couldn't get them. Or that's how I read it, at least. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to look into this a bit more. Pierre, what's up? For how long have you been developed while streaming on YouTube? How is it going? Earning some money even while streaming the development process or wish list for the game? No wish lists yet, but that probably has to do with the game not being up on Steam yet. As for reach, we're like definitely getting some reach, and definitely getting some money as well. But like the most important thing right now, it definitely it keeps me motivated to work on the game, right? And I also get a lot of help. Like today's stream has been a perfect example of the help I get from people watching, and I appreciate it. But okay, let's see here. So now we have Icosphere and Plane. Tomorrow, because unfortunately I need to run now, but tomorrow we're going to implement Cube and Subdivide, and then we can start utilizing all of this in our creature generation. More specifically, the stone or the Sten creature. But yeah, so I reckon tomorrow is going to be quite interesting. Pierre, the people that are watching you now are gamers, or they are developers also. Probably mostly developers, but there's a bit of an overlap there, isn't it? Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day, nonetheless. Peace!